Hey gang, Ronan here. Welcome on back to the Cade and another episode of Sports Saturday. We are closing in on the end of the season here on our great what-if scenario on Sega Sports NFL 2K2 and trying to create the Patriots dynasty of the early 2000s that carried on obviously until 2020 without the existence of one Tom Brady. And as our record indicates right now, we are at 12-2 on the season, having pulled out a very unspectacular win last week against the Cleveland Browns. Like we said, it was a true Cleveland special, and if you know, you know. But the win we got, and as we get ready for this week and our showdown with the Buffalo Bills to cap that season set, I want to take a look at a couple things before we jump into it. Specifically, where we are in the standings, because right now we have the best overall record of the league at 12-2, ahead of the Bills, who are at 11-2, and the Broncos are at 11-3. The Saints, who beat us in our season matchup a couple weeks ago, they're at 10-3. So the playoffs are shaping up pretty well as it stands. With 2 weeks to go in the year. Remember, this is a 16-game schedule, not a 17-game schedule. We are pretty much locked in to get to the postseason. That's not what I'm concerned about. It's who we're going to have to deal with once we get there. And then looking at the league leaders, to give you an idea of the disparity between where we normally would be for a team like this and where we are. I was looking at this earlier, and you look at the passing leaders in the NFL, and right now, and I'm still trying to figure out who that is Lewis for Carolina. I think that's supposed to be a fill-in for Cam Newton. But be it as it may, they've got about 3,900 yards passing. You got Brett Favre at 3609, Garcia at 3608. One name you will definitely notice ain't on this list is Drew Bledsoe until you go all the way down here. And we are third from the bottom. We have the least amount of passing yards having started every game. The only people worse are Chris Chandler and Jay Fiedler. But I mean, you also look like Donovan McNabb is down here, but he's got 1,000 yards passing more than we do. Then you go over to rushing, and you see the disparity between where we are and everybody else. J.R. Redmond is at 1,502 yards. He would need to have a monster day today and next week to get anywhere near 2,000. I don't think that's going to happen. But he is 600, or yours makes no difference, 500 yards further ahead of Sammy Davis at 999 yards. And then you have Eddie George, Marshall Faulk, Warwick Dunn, Jermaine Lewis, Jerome Bettis, he ain't no head of lettuce, Ricky Williams. So, I mean, we're really making it work in the running game. No doubt. That is what has saved us in this season. But now what we got to do is we have got to take on the Buffalo Bills out at Ralph Wilson Stadium, off the shore of Lake Erie near Niagara Falls, and wrap up this season set. So let's get to it. You remember we won the first game against the Bills earlier on. I think if you remember, that was week 3. And we're playing in the snow. 26 degrees and snowy. Just the way Buffalo likes it. Now, when these two teams met in week 14 of the 2001 season here in Orchard Park, it went to overtime, and it was a field goal fest. The Patriots ended up eking it out in overtime by the massive score of 12-9. It was won on a 23-yard field goal off the boot of Adam Vinatieri.
What I love about him is that he possesses the power and toughness to make the difficult catches in traffic.
So let's see if we win the toss. We did not. But I think we are going to kick. Yes, we are. So we will get the ball to start the second half. It'll be interesting to play this and see how the winter weather impacts both teams. Because as much as Buffalo likes playing out in the snow, New England, we're no slouches to playing in the snow either in crusty old Foxborough. So not a great kick from Vinatieri. Establishes decent field position for the Bills. And the question will be, is it going to be Rob Johnson or Alex Van Pelt who will be the quarterback? under center for Buffalo today. It will be Rob Johnson, Robo-Sack himself. If the name Alex Van Pelt sounds familiar, it's because now he is an offensive coordinator. When his playing career ended, and it wasn't a super productive one, he, like a lot of players, got into opted for being on a bench to being holding a clipboard to being a coordinator holding a clipboard, or at least calling the plays. If I remember right, and correct me on this, but I believe Alex Van Pelt is now the offensive coordinator in Buffalo, working with Sean McVay and Josh Allen. I want to say that's right, but I could very easily be wrong.
Sheldon Jackson is having trouble out there today with that snow, Dan.
Yeah, the snow is making the football slippery, and the cold is making the receiver.
So it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, I suppose wool mittens are out of the question then.
I think so. 3rd and 10.
And that will be a false start penalty on the Bills, so back it up 5 more yards. We're going to accept that penalty easily.
That's the flag for the false start. He might have been trying to fake somebody off sides, but didn't work.
It's 3rd and 15.
Oh, and it's caught, and he got a seam. Massive chunk play, looking for the fullback, or that's the tight end, Germany.
Germany almost lost that one, but kept control of the football. It's all about reflexes in situations like that.
Yeah, that was a beautiful
Brewski went up to swat it away, and instead, they got a huge gain out of that. And looking on the roster for the Bills, he's not even on it. So I'm not entirely sure if he was a late, or no, it is Reggie Germany. He was a wide receiver. But not a high-profile target for sure for Johnson, but as it is, 1st and 10 inside our 15 for Buffalo. And I think they went back to him for the short pickup of 2.
On that one, but when the smoke cleared, he still was able to hang on to the football.
That is great determination on his part. He just will not give up. Ball on the 11.
And they went back to him for a 3rd time. It's that little diving play over the middle. So it'll be 3rd and 5 at our 9-yard line. So if nothing else, they're in field goal range for sure. It'd be a chip shot. But we don't want them to get 6. And they're just short of the 1st down, looking for, I think that was Jacobs.
Short of the 1st down.
No, Sheldon Jackson, the tight end. So are they going to go for it? It's 4th and 1 at our 3-yard line. Nope, they're going to opt for putting 3 on the board. So we held them at least. But that's not good news for us if Rob Johnson's able to start finding targets and picking up yardage downfield. And he missed it. A chip shot. He went straight on at it. And Steve Christie, who was one of the better kickers of his generation, completely whiffed on it. So no score.
He feels just awful about it and will never ever do it again.
So we get the ball back, 1st and 10 at our 20. Let's see what Drew and the crew can do. We've already got an injury here. And is that Drew who is down? That looks like that was Drew Bledsoe. That's not good.
Ball on the 21.
So Damon Heward will check in as our quarterback.
Make sure he doesn't get far and tackles him right.
And Sam Cowart with the tackle. He spent most of the year on the injured list for Buffalo. All right, so we need 8 for the first down. And we're not going to get there. So Bledsoe is out for 4 plays with a twisted knee, so he's only out temporarily.
The Bills have got the running game locked down tighter than Alcatraz, baby. Nobody is breaking out.
Which is good because we completely botched that third down play. And we're going to have to punt it off. So everything that could have gone wrong for us on that opening drive did. Luckily, we're going to get a good punt out of this. But it'll be 1st and 10 for Buffalo on our side of the field at our 47-yard line. So hopefully that means when we start the next drive, we will have Drew Bledsoe back under center. And not a moment too soon. Pleasant got behind the line and brought Larry Centers down. Larry Centers, he should be a Hall of Famer if he's not already, but he should be. He was one of the best fullbacks of the last 30 years. I'm not being hyperbolic in saying that. He was a guy who could run, he could catch, he could block. He did everything that a big guy of his size, who didn't have great speed, but was an excellent accessory in the backfield, should have been able to do.
Rob Johnson will get a stern talking to from his coach for that genius move. Throwing into triple coverage. Come on.
It's be 3rd and 11. And Centers is lined up as the halfback, not the fullback. And we get to Johnson, and Robo-Sack goes down thanks to Willie McGinnis. So they got one on us, we got one on them, and fortunately that means it'll be 4th and long, and they're going to have to punt it away again. So not a productive first quarter.
You're also absolutely right. They have tried throwing it, they've tried running it, and nothing has worked. Pigeon comes in and will punt for the first time this game.
So I need a good return out of this. I'm going to let this ball go. It will go into the end zone. That will be a touchback.
It off the bounce. 82.
Or it should have been a touchback.
The Bills know how important it is to keep the crowd
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20.
So they'll try to shut down these early drives.
The Patriots have the ball after the punt and an opportunity.
And sure enough, we got Drew Bledsoe back under center. With 20 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Redmond still busted ahead. That was a Walter Payton run right there.
Significantly on that play. He didn't get the first, but leaves his team in great shape.
Now they've got time for the pass if they want to. They are
should have enough time to get one play off here before the gun. No. So it's 2nd and 2 when we get back on the field, but still no score after 1 quarter of play.
Ball on the 28.
And Redmond busts it out again, and he gets well upfield for a gain of about 15 on that one. Big time first down. We needed that.
Ball at the 41-yard line.
See if we can get something done through the air here on first down. Nope, as immediately Bledsoe got sacked for a loss of
They got
7.
knocked back so far, they're going to have to fill out change of address forms.
Went shoved right off his lineman, and Williams had a clean shot at Drew. I cannot let him take too many hits like that, considering he's already gone to the bench once with an injury.
Ball on the 34.
So we're going to have to go the air here on 2nd and long. And that one was incomplete. I was looking for a manual.
The football into double coverage there. He's got a good arm, but I can't see how he would have made it through.
Yeah, I'll bet he could have found greener pastures elsewhere. Ball at the 34-yard line.
All right, so we 3rd and long. We need something big here. Of course, they're looking for it. And he got upended as he let it go, and it'll be incomplete 4th, and we're going to have to punt it again. That time I saw the defensive lineman coming.
Not much is getting through, and that's a real credit to the players and the coaching staff.
Yeah, you take the air attack off the table like that, and you've got the edge in this ball game.
Costello will punt for the 2nd time.
But once again, this game just not letting us get anywhere through the air. It's frustrating when you consider how well every other quarterback in the league has done in passing this season, but for whatever reason, we just can't. And for being a team that historically had done more with less, I mean, it's well documented how the Patriots were able to achieve what they did offensively while not having big-name receivers until Randy Moss came along. In 2006, if I remember right, 2007.
Has got this team's number, that's for sure. He forced them to take a humiliating loss of yards there.
Ball on the 38.
So he's 2nd and long. But I think our biggest problem is we don't have a good offensive line. And that's something we are going to have to seriously invest in the offseason. We've got to build up an offensive line that can give Drew time to find guys downfield.
With an interception there, Dan. There were guys all over the place out there.
That was not a smart throw, Peter. Ball at the 38-yard line.
So 3rd and long. It seems to be the MO for both of us in this game. We just cannot get any offensive traction going. And almost picked off. That should have been picked.
The Bills have been frustrated today, both in running and in passing the football. That is a very unhappy coach pacing the sidelines down there.
Pigeon will punt for the 2nd time.
But at the same time, we can't be so one-dimensional as to only run. Because eventually the Buffalo defense will figure that out. And then we're going to be in a world of hurt because then we won't be able to do anything on the ground or through the air. All right, so it's 1st and 10 at our 34-yard line. We've got 3 minutes to go until the half. Oh, now, again, we went nowhere.
It's never a good sign when the end zone is getting farther away instead of closer.
So we lose 4 yards because our lineman, again, did not get out of the way. And it's like they absolutely knew we were coming.
Ball on the 30.
And we finally get to a manual for the 1st down, and we finally get something done through the air. We've needed that in a big way.
No match for this tough, talented offensive line.
Yeah, shutting down the blitz can be murder, but if you're successful, you're just about guaranteed an open man downfield. 1st and 10. Gets up.
And Redmond is close to a 1st down after a pickup of 9.
A lot of ground on the 1st down. It's all about getting that yardage.
It's put this offense in very good position. They've got 2 downs to travel.
And we've got the 2-minute warning coming up. So we'll get a timeout here. And we are down inside the 40.
It's still a scoreless game. It's 1st and 10.
I was looking for a manual, and unfortunately there were too many blue jerseys around. Drew Bledsoe really should have looked before he threw there. It's all about reading the field, no matter how little time you have.
Peter, there were 3 guys playing that zone. I can't believe that was the best choice he had. Escapes the tackle, makes the stop.
All right, so we're close to a first down. Be 3rd and 3.
With his line like that, he can be unstoppable.
Yeah, the line is really punching some holes for him. All he has to do is pick which one and go for it. It's 3rd and about 3.
And they bust right through the line, and we get nowhere. In fact, we get backed up 5 yards. So if we go for a field goal here, it's going to be a 53-yarder.
Well short of the marker on 4th down. It looks like
We might as well go for it. And it's caught. Johnson down inside the 10. The gamble paid off, and boy, did we get lucky there.
I believe they actually went for it until they did and got it.
They obviously want to score very badly.
Yes, we do. We want to go in the locker room with a lead of any sort. And Redmond will rumble in, and he's got the score.
Brought it in with a solid, no-nonsense
Whew.
in the end zone. Great play.
Well, wasn't pretty, and it got a little bit of a nail biter there towards the end, but we did enough to put 6 on the board. Like I said, what's better is that we will get the ball to start the second half.
Will line up for the point after.
And that Christie completely botched that field goal.
It's away.
Extra point is good.
The Patriots put the first points of the game on the board.
9 plays, 67 yards, and 226. Capped by the 9-yard run from Redmond.
Sets up and will kick it away. This is returnable.
So we take it to 10.
Germany gets it deep.
Tried to leap over one guy and immediately got clocked by another one.
Something going on offense today. They need to make some changes, adjust, do anything to get their offense producing at this point.
The Bills will start.
So we 1st and 10. At the Buffalo 29 with 33 seconds to go. They have all 3 timeouts. And they went to centers and he busts through the line.
Yards on the play. A game of 7. 23 seconds left.
And knocked down, incomplete. Buckley there on the coverage.
Fearless Price managed to get a frigid digit on the football, but wasn't able to make the catch. I think the snow and the cold is really making that ball a tough catch.
14 seconds on the game clock.
So 3rd and 3 with 14 seconds to go in the half. And it's caught. Buffalo will use a timeout with 7 ticks on the clock.
And stop the clock. Seconds to go.
And they may just take a shot downfield and hope for the best. Nope, they handed it off to centers. He went nowhere, and they're going to take a timeout with 3 seconds to go.
The clock and use their second timeout. 3 seconds left.
So they got ace backfield. See if they're going for a jumbo package here. And we get the sack, and that will take us to the half.
Well, we've got a couple of lines.
So we notch our second sack of the ball game.
It's the end of the first half.
And again, it wasn't pretty, but
Showing a small advantage.
we've done enough to get a 7-0 lead. And we get the ball to start the second half.
Christie is ready for the second half kickoff. This will send them deep.
And this will be a good kick that will pin us back inside our 5.
Fields it deep. 30.
Falk's got a seam. And a great return from Kevin Falk.
Some nice open field running there.
We were pinned way back near our end zone. And now we got 1st and 10 at our 45-yard line. We're right near midfield. That couldn't have gone much better.
It's 1st and 10.
I mean, it would have been great for him to take it to the house, but 40-yard return? I'm good with that. I'm not good with that, though.
And forces a loss of a couple of yards.
Keith Newman is really causing some headaches for his team, Dan. He shut down that play like Elliott Ness closing down a Chicago speakeasy.
Ball on the 45.
All right, 2nd and 11.
Spirals it middle.
And we find Johnson for the first down again. That was a risky play as there was a lot of blue jerseys around there, but we lucked out again.
Crucial if they can pick up the rush like that. Once he has enough time, the quarterback can see all kinds of possibilities.
Especially because the rush was coming in. They were sending a blitz. Luckily, we had just enough guys pick it up.
Tackles him on the line of scrimmage.
And Redmond keeps getting tripped up like
Through and
that.
stops the play right in its tracks. Nice read.
They came up empty on that play. You know, you've got to admire a player like that, Peter. He's all field smart.
Absolutely. He saw where that play was going right from the snap.
Ball at the 37-yard line.
Send the man in motion.
Skates over the backfield. Irvin makes the tackle.
And
Does
Urban
pass
get
line.
Newman is just all over Redmond like a cheap suit.
Third and long.
That's Keith Newman, outside linebacker, who's playing middle linebacker today.
Third and 8.
It's 3rd and 8. And we go to Johnson again, and we get the first down. So they're going to make us try and go through the air.
On third down.
Charles Johnson gets the first down, tacking on a nice run to that catch.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a receiver.
But we've got to be willing to go back on the ground.
Yeah, that's why receivers in today's NFL have to be world-class athletes.
Ball on the 26. It's upfield. He's a wicked hit on and just passed.
And he gets that first bump and then just can't get anywhere. They're not giving us any lanes to run through, which I don't expect them to, but at the same time, it's like,
Ball on the 24.
there's got to be something there. As soon as they see one lane open up, they shut the door.
Play, let's listen into the call.
Well, that's going to help. That's going to move us up 5 yards and make it 2nd and 3.
Hanson gets the call for encroaching. Just snuck up a little too much on the ball.
Ball at the 19-yard line.
So 2:22 to go here in the 3rd. Ah! And my linemen keep shifting and making it so I can't get around them.
Don't yield an inch.
Because that lineman got pushed off by the defensive lineman, and then he just had a open lock right on Redmond.
They can't let that stand. Expect them to come back strong.
Ball on the 19.
My offensive line is getting shoved around here. There we go. Finally get a first down. It's taken 15 carries to get 60 yards.
First down, 10 yards to go.
Ball on the 12.
All right, so they're going to make us go back through the air again.
It's picked up. Barely gets it off.
And almost picked off as Manuel made that cut. And I looked over and Covert was right there.
The heat on that one, Dan. I think that affected the pass.
Oh, without a doubt, Peter, they were gunning for it.
You know, he must have felt like he was the last tray in the buffet, and I had just gotten off work.
Ooh, boy, that's certain doom. 2nd and 10. It's upfield.
And we get back to the line of scrimmage, get dropped for maybe a pickup of a yard.
Coming up. It's 3rd and 9.
All right, it'll be 3rd and 9. We go to Emmanuel, and he's in for the touchdown. Woo, we got lucky there. He broke through that crowd on the left side. I thought they were going to keep him from getting there. And as soon as he caught it, it was just turn and dive into the end zone. I wonder if they'll show it from that angle. As he came over and just got in and crossed the line. But we will take it, as that gives us a 2-score lead now with the extra point coming up.
Vinatieri lines up for the point after.
And it will be good. So with 1:03 to go here in the third. The more important thing is we did a huge amount of clock chewing in that drive as well. 11 plays, 54 yards, 3 minutes, 46 seconds. Capped by that 12-yard hookup.
Vinatieri lines up, signals, and we're ready for the kickoff. Sweet kick.
Short kick taken just inside the 15.
Will make the tackle on the return.
And the Bills will start at their own 33-yard line.
And fix it fast.
The Bills take the field for the first time this afternoon. We'll see how they respond.
So they got a minute to go here in the third.
Dumps it off. The pass is in.
And that was almost picked off by Andy Katzenmoyer. He should have had that.
2nd and 10.
Let's not give me things. Nothing, baby. Right side, left.
Two incomplete.
And that got swatted away. Brian Cox, the former Jet linebacker, got a hand in there to knock it down.
There, Dan. I think it was ill-advised to throw into double coverage like that.
3rd and
So it'll be 3rd and 10. And now with a 2-score advantage, we're able to be a little bit more aggressive on defense, but we can't get stupid.
barely gets it off. He's well past.
And he should have been sacked. Instead, he found Eric Moulds,
They picked up on the blitz right away.
who was arguably the best wide receiver of the post-Jim
That
Kelly
right, Peter.
era.
They were more than ready for it, and they were able to buy time for their general behind
Once
the
Andre
line.
Rita retired, Moulds was pretty much the guy who, through the air, was who they were leaning on.
Spirals it left. Flag down on
Oh, that's going to be a flag as they knock down the receiver.
Pass interference. Number 27 on the defense.
Johnson backed up so far, my defenders couldn't get to him to sack him.
Hot water with that defensive interference call. It's a fine line, but he stepped way over it.
ball at the 40-yard line.
So now it's 1st and 10 at our 40 with 22 seconds to go in the third. We're making life easier for the Bills here, and we can't afford to.
98 stops that play in its tracks.
So pick up of 3.
A gain of 3. It's second and about 7 yards.
They should have enough time to get one more playoff here before the end of the quarter.
Down, set, red, 26.
Gets in after a couple.
And it'll be 3rd and short when we get back to start the 4th quarter, but we're still up 14-0.
A shutout, 14-0. It's third and about 3.
All right, D, shove down, finish strong. No
And
more.
we got an I formation set up.
Pitches it.
And this time we bust through the line and put them on their back. We've only allowed 2 rushing yards today. It'll be 4th and 6. Question is, are they going to go for it or are they going to punt it? They're going to punt it.
Pigeon lines up, and this will be his 3rd punt of
So
the
what we
game.
really want at this point is a clock-killing drive that ends in points.
There's the punt.
And that
The Patriots have really got their back up against
That
the wall
went
here.
out, and we are at
Favor a
first
quick
and
pass
goal
to
at
give
our
yourself some breathing room.
we're on our goal line. How did that work? It just hit the pylon, I think.
They're up 14-0.
Well, we get a little bit of breathing room.
Moving the ball like they were in the first half.
Second down, 6 yards to go.
Ball at the 4-yard
It'll be
line.
2nd and 6 at our 5. If we go the length of the field here, though, that will absolutely be a backbreaker.
Beats that play head on and wraps him up at the line of scrimmage.
Sam Coward really shined on
And
that
Coward
play, stopping them
again,
cold.
just
Actually,
not
give the
giving
whole
us
defense
any
credit,
chance.
Peter. They all did what they were supposed to, which left room for him to strike.
So we know that we're going to pass it. We find a manual 1st down. We needed that. That was a crucial 3rd down, especially considering we hadn't completed a 3rd down in the entire first half.
Ball on the 15.
So we're away from our own end zone.
Check motion man, check motion man. Right side, right.
Escapes out of the backfield.
And we pick up the 1st down. So Jarrett Rutman's got 75 yards on 19 carries, but he's closing in on 20, and that's not good.
First and 10.
Shotgun, tight line. Inside block.
Shotgun.
Oh, Bledsoe got sacked again.
A loss like that
Damn
can
it.
really cripple your mental game. It's all about maintaining.
Again, they just ripped right through my offensive line, and we've got nothing we can do. Nothing we can do to stop them.
It's 2nd and 19.
Go! Motion, motion, pick him up, motion.
Escapes a tackle.
how well they rush
We pick up 5.
the line and the backs are in complete sync, really showing the other teams how to run the ball effectively.
14 yards to go.
3rd and 14.
All right, we're going to need a big pickup here. And we get sacked again. Are you freaking kidding me?
Big defensive play.
Let the pass go, and as soon as we did, I hit B, and that was it. I want to take a look at this. Because the pocket holds right here, and then, yeah, my offensive lineman, there's 3 guys right there. Nobody is picking that defender up, and it's an open shot. That's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. And that's one of the things I really If it sounds like I'm irked, it's because I am. Because you would think that an AI would be at least relatively intelligent enough to have your players do what they're supposed to be doing on stuff like that. But my guys are so terrible. At least on the offensive line. If we do the offseason, I'm going to have to get rid of all of them. Because they're pitiful. There's no reason why that defensive lineman should have gotten past all three of them and gotten to Bledsoe without even a sniff of trouble. It's like they gave him one good chuck and that was it. Meanwhile, the Bills are at our 35. And luckily, center's got double teamed on that one in terms of the hit, and that sprang the ball loose, but
Second and 10.
that makes it 2nd and 10 with 1:39 to go. And that one's incomplete.
Credit's got to go to the DBs who are playing some of the
They were looking for Scott Osborne, the tight end.
Third and 10.
So if we're lucky, we get an incompletion here.
Crosses middle.
They went to centers, but it's not enough. It's 4th and 3.
With the clock winding down, their backs are against the wall.
They could
They've gotta
try
go for it.
the
It would be
field
an
goal, and it looks like they're
incredible
going
comeback if they
to.
can close the gap. They've got to convert here, and they've got to work fast. On 4th and 3, they're going to go for it.
So they are going for it. And we held them. Katzenmoyer got in there to stop centers before he crossed
The field goal was
the first down marker.
there.
I agree. 3 points is better than nothing. The Patriots
So now all we got to do is run the clock out.
and the ball.
Although Buffalo, I think, has at least one timeout left, if not two.
Is history. We have a penalty marker.
And that'll help as they jump the line.
Williams draws the offsides call. That ref doesn't miss a trick.
Clock reads 106.
So make it 1st and 5. And we still can't get anywhere.
Nice tackle. The Bills stop the clock. And
That was almost a 5-yard loss on that play. We forced Buffalo to use their timeout.
Redmond will get the ball again.
And this time he's got the first down. And that's their final timeout
The clock. That was
right there.
timeout. 52 seconds on the clock.
So 52 seconds to go. All we have to do is keep from turning the ball over. And again, Cowart and Flowers
Great tackle.
they never miss anything when Redmond has the ball. They simply do not miss.
33 seconds left.
It's times like this where I very much wish we had more plays that we could run. Or more diversity on the plays we could run. And again, Flowers right there.
Nice job.
That is
These
a
guys
very
just
nice
simply
defense
do
there.
not
Letting a wishful thought get past the line
get
of
stopped by
scrimmage.
anything on my offensive line.
Peter, that is great D.
Yeah, you know, it's moments like this that test your resolve. Will this offense rise to the challenge or slink away?
4 on the game clock.
See if we can get one pass off before the end of the game. And we got to a manual, and that's the first down, but that is enough. So, again, it wasn't a pretty one, but we come into Buffalo in the snow and the cold, and we get the win 14-0, which will also lock up home field advantage for us during the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure also give us the outright win in the AFC East. So, let's check the stats really quick. See where we are at. Now we're 13-2. The Bills fall to 11-3. We have the season sweep of Buffalo. We've beaten the Broncos. So we should have the number one pick or number one seed in the playoffs once they get started. But before we can do that, we've got one more week of regular season football to go, and it comes back home against the AFC division rival Miami Dolphins. So we will have that one to look forward to next week, and then it's time to get ready for the postseason. So that is Sports Saturday for this week. If you've been enjoying the content, you know how to show it on this channel. We don't have to explain it to you anymore. Be sure to tune in for Sucker Punch Sunday tomorrow, where we will play a classic fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. Also, be sure to tune in to our ongoing playthrough of Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden from the PS1 from 2001. We're trucking along in that series, and again, as we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, now that I'm back from my little business trip away, we are looking to take November off as far as recording, but one of the things I'm doing throughout October is I am preloading up episodes, and I'm recording as much stuff as I can now. That way we can just get everything loaded up in November, so you're not short of content. There just won't be anything that's fresh out of the oven, I guess is the way I will put it for you at that point. Be sure to follow us on social media through Instagram and Threads at Ronan's RetroCade to help spread the word about us as we can continue to build the channel and make it bigger and better. And as always, my name is Ronan. It's been great to spend this Sports Saturday with you. Be safe, be well, happy gaming. We'll talk to you next week as we wrap up the regular season here on Sega Sports NFL 2K2. Bye.